What's the secret you've kept from your parents that would destroy them if they knew? I was 16 when I totaled my dad's restored 1967 Mustang, his pride and joy that he'd spent 8 years rebuilding. The car he'd promised to give me on my 18th birthday if I kept my grades up. The car he still didn't let my mom drive because she doesn't understand its soul. It happened on a rainy Thursday night. Dad was on a business trip until Sunday, and I just wanted to move it from the driveway to the garage because the weather app showed hail coming. I didn't even make it 30 feet before I panicked, hit the gas instead of the brake, and slammed into our neighbor's concrete mailbox post. The front end crumpled like aluminum foil. Radiator fluid leaked everywhere, mixing with rain and little green rivers down our driveway. The hood was bent completely in half, and the pristine cherry red paint was scraped down to bare metal. I sat there crying for almost an hour, dashboard lights illuminating my face in the dark. My dad had put every spare dollar and weekend into that car since before I was born. I grew up watching him from a little plastic chair in the garage, handing him tools I could barely lift. Even when money was tight and mom wanted a new dishwasher, he never stopped working on it. "This car will be worth more than our house someday," he'd always say, wiping grease from the chrome with an old diaper. I called my best friend Tyler, who came over right away on his bike, soaking wet from the rain. "Your dad is going to literally kill you," he said, staring at the wreck. "Like, actually murder you. I've seen how he looks at this car." That's when I made the worst decision of my life. I decided to make it look like someone had stolen the car and crashed it. Tyler helped me push it 2 blocks away to the empty lot behind the old Walmart, where kids sometimes went to drink. We wiped down everything I might have touched with my sleeve. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped the keys twice in puddles. I finally took them back home and hung them exactly where they belonged on the hook by the door. The next morning I woke up and pretended to discover the car was missing. I even called my dad in tears before calling the police. "Someone stole the Mustang, Dad. I'm so sorry. I already called 911. I think someone took it last night while I was sleeping." The police came and took a report. Officer Martinez had a notepad that kept getting wet in the continuing rain. I answered their questions, trying to sound confused and upset rather than guilty and terrified. They said they'd keep an eye out, but car thefts were common in our area. 3 hours later, an officer called saying they'd found the car crashed in the lot. I had to act shocked all over again. They asked if I wanted to see it, and I said yes, knowing I had to maintain the lie. What I didn't expect was for my dad to catch an emergency flight home. He was waiting in the driveway when I got back from viewing the car with the police. He was just standing there in the rain without an umbrella, his business shirt getting soaked. "I'm so sorry, Dad," I said, still pretending. His face was blank, completely unreadable. "Let's go see it," was all he said. At the lot, my dad circled the car silently, examining every inch of damage. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. He ran his fingers along the bent frame like he was checking a wound on someone he loved. Then he squatted down and pointed at something under the bumper. "Come look at this," he said. There, caught in the twisted metal, was a piece of fabric from the exact hoodie I'd been wearing last night. The bright blue thread was unmistakable. "Want to tell me what really happened?" he asked quietly. I broke down completely, confessing everything through my tears. The stupid decision to move it, the crash, the even stupider decision to lie. My dad just listened, his expression never changing. When I finished, he put his hand on my shoulder and said something I'll never forget. "The car can be fixed. Trust can't." We spent the next year rebuilding that Mustang together, every weekend, every evening after homework. It cost all of my college savings and every dollar I made working at the grocery store. On my 18th birthday, my dad still gave me the keys, just like he promised, but I didn't want them anymore. "It's yours, Dad," I said. "Always has been." We still take it to car shows together. He never told Mom the truth, but sometimes I catch him looking at me in a way that reminds me of that day. The day I learned that owning your mistakes is the only way to live with them.